Another big contract has been given out for the quarterbacks, and this comes to Jared Goff. The Detroit Lions give Jared Goff a 4-year, $212 million extension with $170 million fully guaranteed per Adam Schefter. If you average this out, is $53 million per year, which is second among quarterbacks, only behind Joe Burrow at 55. And to get my initial thoughts out of the way, I was surprised, not necessarily because of him getting a contract extension. I was surprised that the money that he got. I did not think that the Lions would make him second highest in the NFL. It just kind of begs the question of, not trying to get off topic, but a video I did a couple days ago with Tua, with his contract dispute. This favors him a little bit more? This pushes the needle towards him because of what the money he could get. But getting back to Jared Goff again, I was very surprised that it was $53 million per year. And not to say he hasn't earned that, because he really has changed life in Detroit. He has been definitely been their next franchise guy since Matthew Stafford left after a long time being their first overall pick in 2009. It's we know the infamous trade, and the Rams go on to win the Super Bowl, so you could say the Rams have already won that trade. But I think you can say for Detroit as well, they've set themselves up for success. I mean, Goff is 30 years old. He still has a good amount of more years left of his prime, if you want to say relatively the 4 years of his contract, 4 years left of his prime, if you would say. I think no doubt the Lions are in prime position, if they can keep it up, to be a contender. And I'm not guaranteeing you that with this deal, the Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl, the Lions are going to win one, they're going to do this and that. I don't know. You never know in the NFL. It always changes every single year with teams. There's so many countless times when a team wins the Super Bowl or loses, we always say, oh, they'll be back, they're ready for the future, they'll be fine, and then they fall apart. And not even just for teams that go to the Super Bowl, vice versa for any team. With the Vikings back in 2017, go to the NFC Championship game, have yet to even come close to that. So there's countless times you can look at that. But I think no doubt this is a good signing for Detroit. Again, it might be a tad bit of overpay at $53 million a year, making him the second highest quarterback. You could kind of look and say, well, there's plenty of quarterbacks that are better than Goff that he doesn't, that the money's not warranted. But again, I do think that he has done wonders for Detroit and really stepping in and being a nice transition from Stafford to Goff. You look at his 3 years there, basically this whole tenure with Dan Campbell, they have gotten better. In 2021, his first year there, it was a horrible start, 3-13-1. Then in 2022, they started to really make ground, really kind of made the push towards the end, went 9-8. And then the big season was this past year, was basically a second half away from making the Super Bowl. They were really giving it to the 49ers. Unfortunately, they just couldn't keep it up in the second half, but they were that close to making the Super Bowl. I know that might be crazy to say the Detroit Lions almost making a Super Bowl. Yes, they were. They went 12-5, and again, the stats every year has gotten better. You look at his passing yards, 3,200 passing yards, 4,400, 4,500, touchdowns, 19, 29, 30. Interceptions have gone up a little bit, 8, 7 to 12. But I think he's done fantastic completion percentage, 67, 65, 67. Passer rating, 91, 99, 97. So he's no doubt been a bright spot. And not even to mention the other big contracts they've gone out with Amon St. Brown, Sewell, and so forth. So they really have a team that can seriously contend in the NFC, no doubt about it. You look at other countless players. I mean, Sam Laporta, who had a fantastic rookie season, almost 900 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns for a rookie. Jamar Gibbs was also a great addition to this. Another one that was a little bit unfortunate with the suspension and injuries and so forth. Jameson Williams has been off to a really slow start in his career, but you see the flashes, you see the burst of why they took him in relatively high as they did. They also have Peoples-Jones, which is a solid receiver, solid depth, no doubt. You also have Khalif Raymond as well. He got hurt too, but almost gave you 500 receiving yards as well. And again, for the running attack, Montgomery and Gibbs were both fantastic. You almost had two 1,000-yard rushers as well. But again, trying to stick to Jared Goff this one. I don't have a problem with the contract. Again, I'm just very surprised they would give him $53 million per year. But I have no problem with this. I think Goff has certainly earned a contract extension. What he's done, especially this past year, he's really helped the Detroit Lions put them in position to be a top contender in the NFC. And again, that might be crazy to say. A few years ago, going back to 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, even recently. It's crazy to say that, but the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff has really helped contribute to being a driving force of this team being back into a prime position to go and make another run again this past season. They do. The NFC it's not loaded like the AFC, especially at quarterback. So if they can build off of, or at least replicate what they did at least last year and go into the season, there's no question that they have the capability of going to a Super Bowl. You do have a couple teams in the way. You still have the 49ers, which is probably the biggest name in the NFC that still has the betting favorites. If you want to say maybe the Philadelphia Eagles, if they can make a bounce back after this the collapse last season. Let's see what else. I mean, Green Bay can also be a team that really, speaking of 49ers, once again, was basically a drive away from knocking them out of the divisional round. So the Green Bay Packers are right there too. They almost faced the Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship game. And I mean, another one if you want to throw out there is maybe the Rams with Stafford, but it's not that strong compared to the AFC. But no doubt with Jared Goff under center and with this contract extension, it gives them the opportunity to really keep this going for at least a few more years. I'm not saying once again that they're going to maximize this and they're going to go to Super Bowls, win Super Bowls, do this and that, but it sets them in a prime position to be on par with everyone else in the NFC and also in the NFL too, to go there and compete. And it's a much easier path in the NFC, and they really set them themselves up, especially with Jared Goff. So congratulations for him. I think he has earned it. He's played phenomenal since he's been at Detroit. Kind of really making a bounce back since that Super Bowl loss against the Patriots, where people kind of said, oh, he's just kind of it's all Sean McVay. Sean McVay's doing everything for him, calling which route to go to. And he really took a step back after 2020. So I'm really happy that he really found a new life in Detroit and really has carved a nice career. And if I don't want maybe too outlandish, a nice legacy so far in Detroit and helping them bounce back once again. But congratulations, Jared Goff, once again. 4 years, $212 million, $170 million, fully guaranteed, $53 million per year.